Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Fa'awuz billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammadi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, that the best thing that we should all focus on tonight is that the best life story that we know is our own life. So what I like you to do at the beginning, as we go along in this evening, I want every one of you to reflect on yourself, your own life. Because your own life is the most important life you have, and the story that you live through, that's the most important story of all the stories that we know. Because at the end of the day, that as soon as I close my eyes, my life is over. So we should always attune ourselves and think about our own life and how the words which I'll utter can relate to, or you can plug into your lives as well. So now everyone think about that in our life, or everyone's life, or the human being, that since from the young age, when we were born and learned to recognize the world, the people, and so on, we've learned by innate nature this fact of that certain things, so we've learned that what things that gives us happiness and pleasure, and you should go towards that. So for a child, what happens, when they get maybe 3-4 years of age, they know certain like sugary drinks is nice. They're after that all the time, or especially sweets, or toys, for example. They like to play with small toys and so on. They get excited or happy. Or for some child or baby, they get used to it. They put a dummy in their mouth and they become quiet and happy as well. So the parents are trying to figure out what gives them that peace or happiness, or keeps them quiet at least. Or some people, they put on YouTube, and watch all these kids' YouTube stuff as well, because that's their way of controlling or keeping their child happy and quiet. So from young age, we learn this. Or the other side is, we also learn from young age the thing that's going to give us discomfort or harm or pain. We learn that no matter what happens, stay away, move away from that. So even when we are ill, if you all remember when you're younger, I'm sure many people do still, that they used to give you syrup, for example, and it tastes bitter. And when you put it in your mouth, you want to spit it out, but your parents or whoever, they make sure that you actually have that. Because of the taste of it, although it's good for you, it's bitter. So the concept of that we all work towards pleasure and happiness in life, and do everything to avoid loss, harm, pain, or suffering, that's innate in our nature as well. So Dela becomes like a primary mover, like something that helps us to move forward towards something or move away from something as well. So that's how I can say DNA, genetic makeup as we grow up, that everything else that comes, they're all a cover. But innately what we look for is those things. And there's a third, obviously, high level, which is a concept of love of somebody, and it comes from the heart and so on, and the nafs. So those two, and the bigger one, which I mentioned now, are things that we actually grow up to, we're intuned to learn and practice that as well. So whether one is Muslim, non-Muslim, Christian, Jew, atheist, agnostic, whoever background you're from, we all have that. And what the nations like to do is exactly this. What they say is most successful nations are those that give you maximum amount of happiness or pleasure. That's what they aim for. That if you're happy in a nation where you live, then you've reached your purpose and so on. So we always look for that. Now, in this journey that we go through our life, and now we can all relate to, that's what I'm saying, it's not just about hitting like an intellectual or an academic lecture, which is not, It's more like and hopefully a sincere reminder that in our life as well, think about those times where we really enjoy something, or even now. What things do we enjoy? Maybe some people going out Saturday night having a takeaway or whatever with their friends, going out, that's what most enjoyable. And many people in this society, as you know, they do. That they work, long hours shift or office hours, and they can't wait till Friday night or Saturday. That's like, what they live for. The whole week they're like almost dead, or it doesn't matter, just carry on, slog it through. You really become alive on Friday night. Although you've done an 8-9 hour shift, they go home, they have shower, and they're ready to go. They're not tired. Normally during the week they're tired, or I can't go out today, I'm too tired, and so on. So that's the concept of really living the life, or the concept of enjoyment. Now, for every one of us here, it's similar, it could be different as well. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. It could be halal. Like maybe go out seeing our cousins or our friends, or go out, do something together. And many people end up doing wrong things as well. So, but what is all feeding? It's that, the concept of that, am I being happy? Am I getting what I want? Or am I doing anything that safeguard myself? Now, slowly, if you introduce, now, for example, we have family and friends as well, like parents, brothers, sisters, siblings, cousins, then wider circle, uncle and aunties as well, and then you go family, neighbors, and so on. They're all, in one sense, if you look at from this angle, they're actually providing that to you. What they're providing is this, that somehow, because of certain connections, you've grown up together, you have a biological or emotional attachment. So being with them makes you happy. But unfortunately, there are people, could be our blood relations as well, that because of the bad experience we've had with them, that we try to avoid them at all costs, even if we actually made up with them. For example, we had a fallout, we made up with them. What happens is that we try to avoid their company. Now, we can all relate to this. I'm not saying just about one individual person or one sector of the community as such. It's every one of us we can relate to. Could be our own family, could be and so on. And again, why is that? It's the same concept that being around them gives me grief, reminds me of my pain, of the loss, or how humiliated me, or they rejected me, and so on. So although, yes, I've made up, and Islam teaches essentially that we should all always try to mend relationship, no matter how wrong it is done by them or the other party. The cornerstone of Islamic teaching is that to mending relation with your relatives and loved ones and so on. But yet, people actually keep a distance if they don't like that person and so on. Now the question is, if you go down that path, that have you actually ever been in a situation, and I'm sure every one of yourselves have, whereby, mashallah, you've tried to do the best thing possible, like as you receive pleasure and happiness, you also do that to someone else, maybe your family, maybe your children, maybe your relative, maybe your uncle, your auntie, parents, and so on. But despite doing all that you do, that somehow you find yourself that somehow they've not returned that back to you, which you were hoping for, in this sense of pleasure, happiness, a sense of belonging, identity. Somehow, the friend over your 10 years, or cousin of since your young age, very close together, or even more go closer, the spouse or the children, somewhere down the line, something happens, an event happens, or a scenario takes place, and because of that, they leave you very much hurt and upset. And then you feel as though, okay, I've done all this for my family, for my friend, or for this person, I loved him or loved her, whichever relationship it is, and I cannot believe how they turned against me, or how they've actually backstabbed me. Sometimes people say that. Now again, because it's reflective, we should always think that, has that happened to me? If anyone says that it's never happened to me, you're the most luckiest person alive. And it could be your friend at school, maybe small thing in your eyes, in my eyes, but someone else could be big. Like many times in school, you hear about bullying. And when you actually hear the story, and some people who actually don't have that emotional intelligence, when they hear it, or they're fed up, or they don't really care, they don't have the caring nature, or they say, what's all this? They just swore at you, so what? Or they just call you names. But for the person at the receiving end, could be a young female student or a male student, for them the whole life changes. They go away, start doing self-harm and so on, because they can't find an escape anymore. They cannot speak to their parents because it's too embarrassing. Friends, they don't really understand. And the teachers sometimes, unfortunately, they don't have time. They got too much admin to do, too much preparation to do, so they only very minimally help you. Or if the issue comes outside of school as well, and it spills over sometimes. So that person is suffering, but yet people around them, they don't really understand. And that's another problem as well, that we face, that find that, yes, I have a good, like-minded people, they support me, they like me, but they do not really understand what I'm going through. And it's very hard to explain or express this as well. And many people, what they do is, they become very reclusive. They retreat, they become a closed door, they bottle everything in. What we are looking for, remember, really we are looking for this sense of belonging, sense of someone is loyal to you, who cares for you, give you attention, give you love, and basically makes you feel something worthwhile. That's all the people are looking for in reality. No, not necessarily everyone looks for, or give me money, give me wealth, give me car, and so on. They're all materialistic. Some people are given all this. So many couples or people in the family, where you go find there's a dispute and issues happening, and when you find out, oh, they're well off, she's well off, he's well off, or the cousins are well off, but they don't actually get on, and you think, okay, what's the problem? Usually, the usual problem is the materialistic problem, that there's a lack of finance, lack of food at home, lack of this or lack of that. Is because what's missing is this, that there's no due care for each other as well. That caring element, the affection, the looking out for each other, to emotionally connecting someone or the person we live with, that's missing. It's all about myself. Some people have this mentality, it's all about my issue. You don't understand my issue. And they think whole world is, it doesn't exist. It's only me and my issues as well. If you do not hear him or hear her, they don't want to know you. So there's that type of people as well. So what happens is, going back, that after all this, you find as though, oh, well, I've been let down here. You feel dejected. You feel useless. You feel a sense of anger comes in. Sense of revenge. I want to get back to them. I want to teach him a lesson or teach her a lesson, what's happened to me. So that's the nature of when we are let down, when we have some hope or pin our hope in some people or people that we know in our life as well. Like when you have at work, you have a manager, you have a very good relationship, your line manager is a senior manager. And along the way, you actually did everything for him. You have very good bond working relationship, and he's promised you as well, by the time, if you do this career for 6 months, you will get promoted. I'll make sure I put word in for you to the director and so on. And after a while, a position comes up, that we're eyeing in for a long time. What happens is, that you find that the manager had another secret, you could say, a favorable person, and he gives him or her the job instead. And you get completely, dumbfounded or gobsmacked. You think, what's happened? I thought you're going to give that job to me, and I did everything for you. But then again, he really shows his true face, that he wanted something else. And he got the best work out of you, but yet he actually had someone else in mind. And many people go through that as well, and they feel, oh, what's the point? I've ruined my career. I did all 10 years of my investment in this company and so on, or partnership, and look what he's done to me or what she's done to me. So in all this, what we're looking for is that inner pleasure, inner happiness, inner peace. After all this, and sometimes we get hit again and again and again, and we go back to the same type of people or same level of people or dunya and so on. And we don't really understand that through this life experience of getting hurt and pain, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you a lesson, giving you a reminder. That really what you're looking for, it's that for innate from a young age, from a baby, that what you wanted is a sense of belonging, sense of happiness, sense of enjoyment, that no matter where you are, you feel good, you feel happy. But we end up doing slowly over time, and it's our own fallacy that we try to look this, exactly what I'm saying, to someone else or somewhere else. So there was a story of like an antelope, a deer, that it says that in their pouch they have a very beautiful, like a fragrant smell that comes out. But thing is that antelope itself, it doesn't recognize where it comes from, so it runs around everywhere. It runs around everywhere looking for the smell, but it cannot find the smell outside. It goes everywhere until he passes away and dies, and so on. So the wise men, they actually who observed, they said, look, how sad the antelope is looking everywhere for that beautiful smell. I think he'll find it here, or find it there, or find it in that mountaintop, or under this tree. And he passed away and never recognized the original smell. It's actually coming from his own, for example, from his inside of the body itself. And it's exactly this. This is how we are as well. Sometimes you're running around looking for something out there that does not really exist. So that's why I'd like you to look into this presentation now. So everyone who sat here and online as well. The question is we are looking for that solace, that peace, that happiness inside. We want to feel that sense of belonging. But the question is, do you really feel that? Now again, like I say, it's reflective. It's a story of your life and my life. You should ask yourself that I've done everything. For many people, they've tried drugs. They think this is it. Next fix, that fixes me really. But then after a while, it goes, it wears off, and then you're back to square one. For some people, is having a lawful or unlawful relationship. They think this is it, and they actually desire for this, and they yearn for this. For some people, is wealth, money. They thought money is everything. If I have money, if I'm a millionaire, or if I can quickly become a millionaire, age of 30, and I can retire, enjoy my life. And they live this life of fallacy as well. Many people I know, mashallah, they're very intelligent, and they had such a good future, but they had this concept, how to make quick money. All this, I don't want to name different ways you can make quick money as well, and they start promoted. The next thing you know, in his 50s, and still fighting for scraps. That they could be millionaire, because that's it. My ultimate solace is through this. For some people, they find, if I have certain control or power, if I can control people, therefore I have control of their life, therefore I'm going to control everything they have, so I'll be happy because I'm actually making them move as I want. I'm become something else, like there's many politicians. But question is this, you should ask yourself that in our own life, we've all had whatever level of experience. The question is that, have you truly found that inner peace that we're all looking for from young age? But just things have changed. From it was a toy, then became a car. From like a little, you could say, those plastic mobile phones you get for kids. It makes noise every time you press it. Then you move up to like a Samsung. No, you move up to iPhone and then Samsung, the ultimate. So then, you're always looking for it. But thing is, are you still in peace yet? No, you're still looking for something else. What's the next model coming out? It's because, like the antelope, that we are actually looking at the wrong place. And that's the issue here. That we're not really understanding that, in a way, people have actually put on a magic spell. The shayateen, the devil, and even our own ego as well, in partnership with the devil, has actually kind of somehow put this magic spell that whatever we do see, like that child, when he has that plastic mobile phone, makes a squeezy noise, when he squeezes it like that, they think this is it. This is the real thing. Unless an adult, a mature person comes and he laughs at that child, saying that you think it's a real thing. You make a call, your mom answers. She's just over there on the other room. She can hear you, that's why she's answering you. Like this, we go after the things of the dunya, of the people, and we don't realize that at the time it looks real. Yeah, it is real. At the time it feels real as well. This is what I want. But in the grand scheme of things, in that sense, it's still fake. Because one day, today or tomorrow, or 10 years down the line, that very thing will let you down. Or you will lose interest in that. You realize, this is nothing really. But unfortunately, you might have lost your 10 years, 15 years of your life. So it's better now, many young people are here, many mature people are here as well, that we should really think that what is that thing that we'll find that, that we will really fit with that, piece of thing or a person and so on. And question is, we should really focusing on is is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now I'm going to tell you tonight briefly that how we actually fit with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That thing that we're looking for from young age, from a childhood, you can never find it elsewhere except in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then you realize that it is true that I only fit with Him. Everything else is just a cover, just a means to an end. The ultimate, like I said, the innate, how we are made of, our DNA, our makeup, is that we want to feel happy, we want to feel loved, we want to feel appreciated, we want to feel like, endless happiness. That's what we want. Endless happiness, that's what we want. And we want to feel protected from all harms. We want to be protected from any humiliation, from any danger, any life-threatening situation as well. We want that natural protection. So that's why maybe seek help from people who promises you will protect you, like the police force or the army and so on in a country. So we look for this elsewhere, but really it's in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So example given here on the presentation, that imagine we are a cube. And what we're trying to do, going on everywhere, in every scenario, think about it in our life, be it in a job, be it in a relationship, be it wealth, be it our own sense of enjoyment using, substance and so on. We're trying to force that cube into a round hole. Is that possible? No. Only way possible, you start shaving that cube. That means you let yourself go, be that hole, so you lose your identity. So you become like the shaitan, like the devil. But still inside of that cube, you'll feel the hollowness as well, because you feel that I don't belong here. After all this, you'll still feel hollowness as well. So in reality, we are like a cube, and we do not fit with anything else, nor the hole that we can see in front of us as well. Although we throw ourselves at it sometimes. And that's why it's very important to recognize that. So now the question is that why should we? So question you can ask, brother, why should we make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala my purpose and not the creation? It's a very important question. I want you to think and ponder. Rather than you asking me, I'm asking you the question now. So now I'm telling you, leading you to our journey, our own life journey. This is our own life story. So you have to now think that, so why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because I cannot see Him. I cannot, feel Him. I cannot hear Him in a normal sense. Why is because of this. We're going to explore today briefly as well. And when you really ponder upon this as we go along, slide by slide, and you really ponder, you really see that the real answer lies within. Like the antelope that looked for fragrance elsewhere was within itself. And how do we start to open the whole, you could say, world, that realm, is by looking at the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala versus the quality of creation. And tonight, I really want you to just focus and look at hear the words I'm saying and reflect. How do you reflect? Like I said, the best way to learn is to learn from stories. Like it is the story in Surah Yusuf, it mentioned as the Ahsan al-Qasas, best of stories. Because in that, so many lessons one can learn from Surah Yusuf, from the story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. And we are all our story as well. Look at our own life. Your own life, everyone's life is unique. Your experiences are unique. But in that, you find many things where I'm going to relate to, you can relate to it and see the answer, which is glaringly obvious, but unfortunately we missed in our life. And it becomes like a penny drop moment. As soon as you understand and it clicks in your mind, then you have a vision, you have a focus in your life. No one else have to tell us, brother, go and do this, brother, go and do that as well. It's like the elite athletes, boxers, whatever you name them. Those who are very focused and dedicated in their sport, that they don't need any motivator to, like in the winter, they'll wake up 3, half 3, 4 in the morning and go for a jog first thing before they even have their breakfast, anything else as well. They have a very strict routine they follow. Now, most of us, we think we'd rather go to sleep, it's very cold, I'll do another day, or people are very, into these things as well. But these people, there's something in their mind, they know the success, the pleasure, the happiness in this, if I become a champion, or if I become successful in this game. But I'm now taking it to the bigger level, a grand scheme. We can all be like the athlete, really focus, once you understand some of these points, which I'll cover, inshallah. So, for example, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over everybody else that will only fulfill, that will fit with Him. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we know, is an obvious point, that He is our creator. So, He created us. So, sense of belonging is that people, creation did not create me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-Khaliq, He's the creator. So, straight away, not just one point, think about it. Sometimes we suffer from identity crisis. I don't know where I belong. I don't know, am I this or am I that? I don't know who I am. Who am I? And many, especially young people, they go through in life, especially the society and so many confusion out there, gender fluidity and so on, they really struggle as well. Straight to this one point, if you really ponder, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created me. I belong to Him. So ultimately, I owe myself to Him and how He wants to live our life. So I become free from everybody else in that sense. I don't have to be worried about his comment or her comment, or they will laugh at me, or they will say this and so on, or what will society say. You become independent. It's as though you become free from enslavement of people's comments and situation. As soon as you understand that point, that Allah is the creator, and my only ownership, my belonging belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Straight away, He gives you that empowerment. Like, for example, think of your life, that I behave in a certain way, I act in a certain way. I have to put this mask on, or fake it in front of certain people, or else there's a fear of retribution or mocking and so on. Or that society will reject me if I truly be myself. Whereas here, if you truly become the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing that He is my Khaliq, He is my creator, all this other issue just evaporates. The societal pressure, the peer pressure, everything that we can think about that, causes us anxiety, causes us depression because of what's happened in the past, you become free from it. Think, why should I bother about these things when I belong to Him and He takes care of everything? So that's a very powerful concept. Another one, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is as-samad, He's need-free, He's independent. So when I say I belong to Him, and yet He does not need anything from me, rather I need everything of my being, my state, being of my fabric of my creation, I need Him to support me. So what does that mean? Sometimes we have this notion that, He only likes me, this person only supports me because he's got ulterior motive. Ultimately, he's not very genuine, or he's not sincere. Why? Because he wants something from me. One day, he knows he will need me. That's why he's actually blessing me, or with all this love and attention and help and so on. But deep down, he's not a genuine person. He wants something from me. And once you get to discover those people, you feel disappointed or annoyed that all this time, helping me out, giving me a lift and so on, he's actually after something else. Many people say that, don't they? When they come and say, what are you after? They ask sometimes, some people are straightforward, say, what are you really after? Whereas here, we belong to Him, but He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, does not need anything from me. He's not after anything from us. So it's purely out of His love that He serves us and loves us. So that again empowers us that it is worth that really show our reliance through ourselves to Allah, that ultimately He only wants me to benefit, and He doesn't want anything in return. Think about that. With all the people, even husband and wife, there's a contract you make that you fulfill my right, I fulfill your right, then we're happy. Soon as that goes down, then that's it breaks. Now, Sharia says you have to fulfill each other's rights. If you haven't, then obviously there's consequence. No, you can't be, self-righteous pious. Oh, no, I don't fulfill rights, but I'm still, I still my rights. Or no, I still have the right to say whatever I want. No, in Islam, in the world, you have to keep things balanced and equal, and have due respect and honor and so on and so forth. But what we're saying is that here, that contact with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pure. He is not asking you anything in return. So therefore, it's worthwhile exploring that relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another one, and very important, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forget. Why is that important? Well, it is important because we human beings by nature, we're forgetful. We forget easily. Now, why is that an issue? It is an issue. Again, think about it, that when was the last time you had an argument with someone because he or she forgotten to do something to you? Or you expected something to be done and they forgot. Or, for example, like you've done so much favor on them and they're completely forgotten that favor you've done on them, and they don't treat you as though they don't know you anymore. And you feel upset that, 10 years I've looked after you, 10 years we spent time together, we had a good time together and so on. Every weekend we used to meet up. And now just because you got better friends or become richer than me now you don't want to know me. You kind of almost like wiped clean our the life that we enjoyed together. Or generally some people forget, the favor you've done. And feel a bit upset and downtrodden as well. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, any small good deed you do, anything you do, like from smile at someone, it's also sunnah, it's a deed. Giving, for example, charity 10 pence to a beggar on the street, or anything you've done. For example, like no one saw it, but you held the door for someone else, or you helped an animal, for example. No one knows about it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forget even the smallest of good deed that you've done. He always remembers you as a person, Bashir, Nazir, Abdul Rahman, Luqman, whoever you are. Allah remembers that what you have done. And you will see that reward on that day. So isn't it worth it then? That whatever I do it for him, because he never forgets. Why should I do it for anybody else? The chances are that I've done it for 90 times, missed one, and he forgets me. He doesn't want to know me anymore. He's as though he turns around and tells you off as though you've done evil to him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only one time you do something, he preserves that. He remembers that. Again, you want a sense of loyalty, sense of belonging, someone that appreciates you, is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because his quality he never forgets. So I can go on, Allah's 99 names. I'm going to show a few, just make you understand that why should we choose Allah over everything else, because you only fit with him and nobody else. Now this is a very important point, that he never misunderstands. Now many a times between the families, between couples, between best friends, cousins, you name it, between societies, between countries, why there's such a big fallout or big conflict takes place? You reflect on your own life. Many times he said this, she said this. WhatsApp, or you said this on a WhatsApp comment, and you put an emoji frowning face. It was my birthday, you put frowning face, and I'm upset now. And the person said, oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong one. I didn't know which one to choose emoji. And it's a misunderstanding. But you've been half a day, you wasted your birthday being happy, you're upset. Oh, look, my friend Bashir, he gave me a frowning face, and it was my good day for me. He should have given me a love heart, but he gave me a frowning face. And I'm upset now all day. I'm never going to talk to him again. Look, what kind of friend is he? What kind of cousin is he? Not even a thumbs up. Because we live by these lives, thumbs up, no thumbs up as well. He's gone like that. He doesn't understand what that means, probably. That's what it is. So, again, misunderstanding. Then you meet him after 3 weeks, and you avoid giving salam to each other. So the guy, your friend, he goes, oh, what's up with him? Why is he not giving salam? He gets upset. Oh, look, he's ignoring me now. Then the third person comes, because let's bring two together. So find out what's happened. He goes, oh, it was my birthday, and he put a frowning emoji face, and I was to expect at least a thank you or a happy birthday, like a celebration thing that comes up, emoji. And he goes, oh, brother, I didn't know that. It wasn't me, it was my son who pressed it by mistake. He had the phone in his hand on that day, and I never checked it afterwards. So I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to, obviously, not to give you good news of your birthday. Oh, right, okay, makes sense. That's understanding. So again, over a small thing, people can have a fallout as well. There was I think in the subcontinent, once the wedding party have come, and so they obviously the bride side they host the first is one of the tradition of the wedding ceremony as well, and the groom side have come, and the father of the groom is very angry, a very respected, honorable type of person. He hates people making comments and so on. His nature like that. So he's come through, and they had a gatekeeper of the wedding hall, and the gatekeeper gone up to him and said, "Oh, park your car properly." And then he got very enraged. "How dare you say this?" And obviously he didn't know who if it was the father of the groom. He just said, "Go and park your car properly because you're blocking the way." And he become enraged and start shouting at him and so on. And what happens is the commotion. People start to gather. So what's happened? He goes, "Oh, he disrespected me. Look what he said to me. He said, I've not parked my car properly. It's my son's wedding. I'm the main man here, or my son, and he's actually dishonored me and so on." And then he start calling out and start swearing, and then they start calling the bride's father. So you come out. What kind of workers have you kept? They've not told him who I am. I'm coming to this wedding. You also not respected me, because the fact is your worker done that to me. That means you behave like that. And because such a commotion, such an argument, when the father goes, "Son, let's go. The wedding's not happening here." And he left and walked away. Just over a small comment like that. He got so enraged because he thought it was my humiliation that drives such a, like I say, I don't know, like a normal laborer telling me to park my car properly. How dare you tell me this? So it happens, in life. And so misunderstanding happens, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a being that He never misunderstands you. That's the only being you can go up to Him in the middle of the night, in the day, at tahajjud time, at maghrib time, open your heart and pour your heart out to Him. Talk to Him. He's your best, closest friend you can ever have. And He understands every single aspect. Even those things we find it hard to express in words, or too embarrassing to express in words. Allah knows what that is in your heart. And the beauty thing is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the power to change that as well. So it's worthwhile having that relation with Him and talk to Him if you have that need. Another one, it's important that He is not influenced by anybody. Because many a times that a person, even your very loyal friend, he could be influenced by someone else because of what other people have said. And because of that, temporarily, he could turn against you. Maybe he's influenced by shayateen, devils, or devilish people, or because his life in danger. His life is in danger, so he does certain things, or else his family going to be harmed. And so sometimes it goes against you for that moment. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not influenced by anybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does what He pleases. No one can question Him. So that's another thing as well to focus on. Sleep, we mentioned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing, as we know, that He knows everything. Like I said earlier, that sometimes, you live amongst people. But many times you find yourself, the people do not know who you are. Have you ever been in the situation because you're going through so much difficulty in your life? You have your friends, you have your cousins, you have your mother and father, you have your wife, or a wife has a husband, you have children, you have best friend. But living amongst all of them, they still do not know who you are or what you're going through internally. Now think about it. Have you had that experience in your life? If so, to know that only one being knows exactly what's inside of you, what you're going through. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Alim. He knows exactly what you're going through. And He also knows that He's not limited. That what choices you make in life, if you do istikhara, if you ask Allah's guidance, He'll choose for you that which is good for you as well. Many times what we do is, we think this is good for me. We really vie for that. We really actually salivate or yearn for this. But in wisdom and knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows this thing or this person is not good for that person. But if you rely on His knowledge, Allah will look after you. So there's another thing, important point here. Many times we're thinking about our future, this and that, and relationship with family and so on. We start to plan and plan and plan. Almost we're trying to engineer our future. The subtlety here is that if you're that type of person, go extreme planning all the time and trying to control this, control that, which is not in your control, sometimes as a light punishment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves you to it. Go on, you plan yourself. Whereas if you assign to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, I plan much as I can, but it's not in my control. Allah, you're al-wakil, I'll give it to you. You're al-alim, I rely on you. You make it that is good for me in this life, at the end, and my akhirah. Then Allah will look after your affairs. Whereas once we minus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from this, then that's why many of those people, I'm not saying necessarily, but many times those people have anxiety. They suffer a lot. Because they're trying to control their future, control people, control those things that are not in their control. Because we're limited. And when you go down that path, when you try to engineer these things, what happens is Allah leaves you to it. Okay, you carry on. Do whatever you want. If you think you're in control of your life, your future, you carry on. And that's why they're dispersed everywhere. They have no peace inside. Because one thing they've done, the biggest mistake they've done here, is they've done everything but minus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from their life. So if you do that, you will also suffer. That's why it's better to rely on Him, and knowing that He knows everything and He knows what's good for me as well at the end. Although temporarily it looks very bleak. Temporarily it looks that, oh, I'm going to lose out here. Yes, we use our intellect, but ultimately we should have the firm faith in Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. I can carry on, like I said, Al-Ghaffar, Al-Ghafur. One thing I want to mention is very powerful here, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He forgives very quickly and He repeatedly forgives. Now, one thing we should really understand that we, again, human relationship, that you make one mistake, they might forgive you. Second mistake, they might forgive you. But third mistake, they don't want to know you. They say, go away from here, never come in my face anymore, in front of me anymore. They never ever want to know you. And that's a fact. Very rarely, no less like a parent or someone like that they forgive the child again and again, but even there's a limit. So it's by nature that even forgiveness of people, mercy of people is limited. It's not endless. The only being who will have this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that His forgiveness is endless, and He could repeatedly, if you make a mistake, Allah repeatedly will forgive you. That's a unique quality only found in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That if you sincerely do tawbah, you make a mistake, you do that 70 times a day, you still turn to Him and ask for forgiveness, Allah will still forgive you. The beauty is, just to touch on this, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forgive repeatedly. He loves to forgive. That's a unique quality only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And obviously the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because they reflect, and the awliya I'll mention towards the end. So imagine that someone stole your phone. You spend £1,500 on a Samsung. It doesn't exist, does it? No, it's iPhone, £1,500, right? And then he stole your phone, and you got to find out that that person, brother X, has stole your phone. And then he come running back saying, brother, forgive me, I've stole your phone. Yeah, I liked your phone, so I stole it as well. If you're rich enough, if you have a very merciful heart, you must say, okay, I've forgiven you, but never do it again. Imagine that person then goes and steals your Audi A8. He left it open with the key and he just drove off with it. And he found out at the end, you reported to the police. Police goes, is that person X again? And then he comes and asks for forgiveness. What would you do? Very few people will say, yeah, I've forgiven you. They at least say, no, pay for my iPhone and for my car now as well, for both of it, not just one. Whereas, without giving an example, when you turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He not only forgive you, He actually loves that person. Like, for example, Allah will love that servant of His, that X. Or not only I'm forgiving you, I actually love you for doing so as well. Come to me closer. And thirdly, what He does is, He brings that person closer to Him. Because that's for forgiveness. Although you've done the crime. You will not find anywhere else except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the things, sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful and so kind and so loving, that sometimes He says, okay then, I've forgiven you, I love you for this, come closer, and guess what? You've not done that sin. You've not done that crime. It's erased, it's omitted from your record. It doesn't exist. Who else in the whole world that we know would do something like that? No, it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why it's worthwhile investing the time in Him. So finally, there's others, I can carry on. The attributes of Allah's name is obviously endless, 100, the 99 that we know. That's why we should make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala our greatest purpose, seeking His pleasure, not dunya, not through obviously family, wealth, status. These are all means to an end. But really, Allah should be our direct, laser-sharp focus in Him, because it only fit with Him and nobody else. So if you do not remember anything I said today, just go away, say to yourself, like a mantra, like they say, that I do not fit with anybody else, I only fit with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And once you understand that, then I'm just going to show you a final at the end. So if you can see the screen. Can you see the screen now? Yeah. So you can see all the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Wadud is all-loving. Al-Haq, Al-Wakil, Al-Wahhab. These are the different qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, being the most closest human being to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he also reflected. Okay. So he also reflected the Allah's sifat. So that's why Allah is al-Haq, all truthful. Rasulullah al-Amin, known as that in his own lifetime as well. So what we're trying to say that if you want to be the most favored of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you want to be the most favored of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then what we should do is exactly this, is we should think about Allah's qualities and how I'm benefiting, and I start to also think and behave in that way. What do I mean by that? So for example, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Rafiq, is very gentle in his approach. Now Allah has been gentle with me. I do so many mistakes. He's still kind and gentle. Now how to go close to him so get more favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that I also start become gentle to others around me, my father, my mother, my wife, or for the wife, husband, siblings, and so on. Just be gentle. Why? Not doing it for them necessarily. You're doing because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treats you like that, and you get more favor of Allah by being gentle. Thus, you're reflecting this quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And once you start doing this, you see how the barakah, the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is flooding in your life. You'll start to feel that people say, I'm in pain, I'm in agony. Remember at the beginning I said, we're always looking for pleasure, looking for a peace, looking for happiness. That person, the servant here, when you start copying and reflecting, he or she will start to feel that. Not just temporarily, it becomes a permanent state. And what we've been searching for in the quest from the young age, it will manifest as soon as you understand this point and start to reflect. And that's why, alhamdulillah, in this center, we have qualified ustadhs, trainers, teachers, practically how to bring those qualities in your life. So you become independent, you become empowered, you become at peace, you taste the permanent pleasure, permanent happiness. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also protected, the permanent protection from Him, Al-Hafiz, He's a protector. Then there's a way, there's a channel, there's a process you can go to step by step to bring those in your life at your own pace. I know, me saying all this, you probably know already. But how do you actually transform that practically in your life? That's a separate science altogether. And for this, yes, you need to commit, inshallah, but it's all free of charge. Sit with the mentor and the ustadh, and they'll teach you step by step. They'll give you coaching and advice. And then you see how your life is transforming. That you've not seen going to Umrah or Hajj or a Baitul Maqdis or anywhere else you've been. You've not seen that transformation. But being here with the right type of people, you will see that difference in your life. And that's my invitation to all of you brothers and sisters here, inshallah. Jazakallah, subhanaka alhamdulillah, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala al-mursaleen. Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah khair to Ustadh Dr. Shah Alom for really illustrating that why we really should make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala our best friend. And as they mentioned, at this center, we teach that path of transformation. And as they said, that if any brothers or sisters wish to know more about that, then they can see myself, the brothers, and there are responsible sisters downstairs. Brothers will sit down with you for 15, 20 minutes and actually teach you this path so that you can really begin the journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And again, those brothers who already began the journey, when's the last time you had a review? Are you still on that path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or have we diverted off? So again, use this gathering and use this opportunity on a Friday to connect with your mentor and have that review so you can come back onto the path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we all easily get diverted with dunya, work, problems and so forth. But that's what the mentor is there for, to bring you back onto that path. We're just going to have one announcement if the post could be put up. So on Sunday, we have a fundraiser for the House of Wisdom charity. That really is a charity which funds the Tariq and particularly the World Peace Movement. You'll have seen brothers who are out in Australia and Thailand. Those brothers have paid for their own tickets and their own hotels, and they've given their time. But venues need paying for, material needs paying for. And so really, if you want to spread the message, we also have to fund it. Alhamdulillah, lots of brothers are giving time and effort doing that. But also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us, especially in this country, with wealth. So really, we should support this fundraiser on Sunday, which will be live on the TM live channel. If I can just ask everyone to stand up. We will now move on to the gathering of zikr. Just to let some blood flow into the legs as we've been sat down for about an hour. And there is food after the gathering today, which is the solace for our brother Ilyas's auntie. 80 Quran Park, many of the surahs, Astaghfar, Drushif have been read. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all that, what has been read for the solace for our brother Ilyas's auntie. So again, if brothers just move forward now, please, and then just take a seat. Just again, remember we're in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so if we remember the adab, so if brothers can just move forward a bit more, please come forward. And then just take a seat. Again, refresh the intention. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me. He can see me and He can hear me. And really make this not just a dhikr of the tongue, but a dhikr of the heart and the mind, and you'll feel the difference. And so if brothers now can sit down, please, and move forward. And inshallah, we will begin the gathering of zikr. Just again, some basic adabs. Again, this is a loud zikr, so we shouldn't feel shy when we are reciting dhikr. There are plenty of times where we should be shy, but this is not one of them, so we shouldn't feel shy. And again, the adab is just to follow the person who's leading the dhikr and not to go ahead. And again, just make sure your mobile phones and everything are on silent so that not only you are not disturbed, but others aren't disturbed. Jazakallah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يعوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم الخلق كلهم على حبيبك خير
الخلق كلهم
محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من غرب ومن عجم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي
صل وسلم
دائما أبدا مولاي
صل وسلم
دائما أبدا السلام عليك يا شفيع المذنبين السلام عليك يا شفيع المذنبين مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي
صل وسلم
دائما
أبدا
السلام عليك يا رحمة للعالمين السلام عليك يا رحمة للعالمين صلى الله على محمد صلى
الله عليه
وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى
الله عليه وسلم
صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله
على محمد
صلى الله
عليه وسلم
صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم صلی اللہ علی محمد 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 صلی اللہ علی
محمد صلی اللہ علیہ
السلام علیک یا ایھا النبی وعلی آلہ وصحبہ اجمعین. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله 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 أول وآخر هي الله ظاهر وباطن هي الله أول وآخر هي الله ظاهر وباطن هي الله خالق ومالك هي الله لا إله إلا الله 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 لا مسجود إلا الله ليس الهادي إلا هو أنت الهادي أنت الحق ليس الهادي إلا هو رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت
خير الراحمين
أنت خير الراحمين أنت خير الراحمين أنت خير الراحمين أنت خير الراحمين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين رب اغفر وارحم
وأنت خير الراحمين
أنت خير الرازقين أنت خير الرازقين أنت خير الرازقين أنت خير الرازقين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت
خير الراحمين
رب اغفر وارحم
وأنت خير الراحمين
مدینہ مدینہ میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں نبی کے عشق کی شمع جلا کر چل رہا ہوں ہاں نبی کے عشق کی شمع جلا کر چل رہا ہوں
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
میں ان کی یاد سینے میں سجا کر چل رہا ہوں میں ان کی یاد سینے میں سجا کر چل رہا ہوں سوچوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں سوچوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
پیغام مصطفیٰ ہر سو پھیلا کر چل رہا ہوں ہاں پیغام مصطفیٰ ہر سو پھیلا کر چل رہا ہوں غمی امت کو آقا کے اٹھا کر چل رہا ہوں غمی امت کو آقا کے اٹھا کر چل رہا ہوں
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
ہاں تیری گلیوں کا منظر آ گیا سینے میں میرے تیری گلیوں کا منظر آ گیا سینے میں میرے کفے پا پر تیرے آنسو گرا کر چل رہا ہوں کفے پا پر تیرے آنسو گرا کر چل رہا ہوں
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
وہ دیکھو آ گیا ان کا مدینہ دھوم اٹھی وہ دیکھو آ گیا ان کا مدینہ دھوم اٹھی درود پاک ہونٹوں پر سجا کر چل رہا ہوں درود پاک ہونٹوں پر سجا کر چل رہا ہوں
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں
وہ دیکھو سامنے منبر پہ پہ بیٹھے ہیں وہ احمد، وہ دیکھو سامنے منبر پہ بیٹھے ہیں وہ احمد، فدا ہوتا صحابہ کو میں دیکھ کر چل رہا ہوں، فدا ہوتا صحابہ کو میں دیکھ کر چل رہا ہوں،
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں، میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں،
میری ہستی کا ساما آپ سے ہے یا محمد، میری ہستی کا ساما آپ سے ہے یا محمد، دامن کو گناہوں سے بچا کر چل رہا ہوں، دامن کو گناہوں سے بچا کر چل رہا ہوں،
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں، میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں،
دکھائی دے رہی ہیں آپ کی مسحور آنکھیں، یا رسول اللہ دکھائی دے رہی ہیں آپ کی مسحور آنکھیں، میں آنکھوں سے آنسو گرا کر چل رہا ہوں، میں آنکھوں سے آنسو گرا کر چل رہا ہوں،
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں، میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں،
صبا ان کو بتاؤ آ رہا ہے ان کا دبا، صبا ان کو بتاؤ آ رہا ہے ان کا دبا، سوئے طیبہ لہو دل کا جلا کر چل رہا ہوں، سوئے طیبہ لہو دل کا جلا کر چل رہا ہوں،
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں، میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں،
آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں، نبی کے عشق کی شمع جلا کر چل رہا ہوں، ہاں نبی کے عشق کی شمع جلا کر چل رہا ہوں،
میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں، میں آنکھوں میں ہرا گنبد بسا کر چل رہا ہوں،
میں چل رہا ہوں، چل رہا ہوں، چل رہا ہوں، استغفر اللہ الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم
حي القيوم
وأتوب إليه
وأتوب إليه
أستغفر الله
أستغفر الله
الذي لا إله إلا هو
الذي لا إله إلا هو
الحي القيوم
الحي القيوم
وأتوب إليه
وأتوب إليه
أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم
الحي القيوم
وأتوب إليه
وأتوب إليه
اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحان ربي العلي الآل الوهاب يا رب لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك ولعظيم سلطانك اللهم يا ربي بجاه سيدنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ابن عبد الله اجمع بيني وبين سيدنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ابن عبد الله في الدنيا قبل الآخرة ظاهرا وباطنا یا اللہ یا اول الاولین یا آخر الاخرین یا راحم المساکین یا ذا القوة المتین یا ذا الجلال والاکرام یا ربی یا رحمان اللہم اغفر لی ولوالدینا والمشایخین والاستاذ والجمیع المسلمین. یا اللہ ہم تیرے گناہ گار بندے ہیں، اس محفل میں تیرے نیک بندے بھی ہیں، بچے بھی ہیں، سفید داڑیوں والے بھی ہیں، تیرے اولیاء بھی ہیں مولا کریم، جنات بھی اور فرشتے بھی. یا الہ العالمین اس ذکر کو، تمام عبادات کو، کلمہ کلام کو، قرآن پاک کو، یاسین شریف کو، درود پاک کو، جتنی بھی عبادات کی گئیں جو ہماری ماؤں بہنوں نے کی، جو بھائیوں نے کی، مولا کریم تیری بارگاہ میں ہدیتاً پیش کرتے ہیں، قبول و منظور فرما. یا الہ العالمین اس کے اوپر اپنے فضل اور کرم سے اجر و ثواب عطا فرما، اور اس اجر و ثواب کو تیرے حبیب سیدنا محمد رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی بارگاہ میں پیش کرتے ہیں، قبول و منظور فرما. یا الہ العالمین آپ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کو ہمارا سلام پیش فرما، اور آپ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کے طفیل جمیع پچھلے جتنے بھی انبیاء کرام گزر گئے ان کو، ان کی امتوں کو اور فرشتوں کو، اولو العزم رسولوں کو، صحابہ کرام کو، اہل بیت اطہار کو اور ائمہ امت کو، اور خصوصاً طریقۃ المحمدیہ کے مشائخ سیدنا علی کرم اللہ وجہ الکریم سے لے کے سیدنا عبدالعزیز دباغ اور سیدنا شیخ احمد دباغ تک تمام کو فرداً فرداً پیش کرتے ہیں، قبول و منظور فرما. یا الہ العالمین اپنے فضل اور کرم سے اس کا اجر اور ثواب ہمارے پیارے بھائی الیاس آپ کی پھپھو جان نذیر بیگم، انکل غلام رسول اور جتنے بھی لوگ آپ کے حلقہ میں جو ہے وہ مغفور ہو گئے، فوت ہو گئے، اور آپ کے والدین کو اور بردر فاروق کو، حضرت صاحب کی پھپھو جان کو، اور جتنے بھی لوگ موجود ہیں اور جو نہیں آ سکے، سب کے ننہال میں ددحال میں حضرت آدم علیہ السلام تک سب کو پیش کرتے ہیں، قبول و منظور فرما۔ سب کی قبروں کو جنت کے باغوں میں سے ایک باغ بنا، بقائے نور فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین سب کے درجات کو بلند فرما، ہمارا سلام ان تک پہنچا۔ یا الہ العالمین اپنے فضل اور کرم سے ان سب کو جو ہے وہ صبر جمیل عطا فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین جو بے اولاد ہیں ان کو نیک صالح اولاد عطا فرما، جو بے روزگار ہیں ان کو روزگار عطا فرما، جو رشتوں کی تلاش میں ہیں ان کو مناسب رشتے عطا فرما، جو بیمار ہیں ان کو شفاء کلی عطا فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین جو ذہنی طور پر بیمار ہیں مولا کریم ان کو نفسیاتی طور پر مولا کریم جس طرح بھی ان کو شفاء کاملہ عاجلہ عطا فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین جو جس حاجت سے آیا ہے وہ اس کی حاجت کو پورا فرما۔ کوئی ڈپریشن کا، انگزائٹی کا، کسی کا رشتہ جو ہے وہ سفر کر رہا ہے مولا کریم، کوئی کسی طرح بھی تیری بارگاہ میں آ گیا مولا کریم، خالی نہ جائے۔ یا الہ العالمین جب یہاں سے اٹھ کے جائیں خوش ہو کے جائیں، لائٹ ہو کے جائیں، اپنے غموں کو بھول کے جائیں، پریشانیوں کو یہیں چھوڑ کے جائیں۔ یا الہ العالمین جس کسی کے بچے بیمار ہیں مولا کریم اس کو شفاء کاملہ عاجلہ عطا فرما۔ پوری امت محمدیہ کے حال پہ کرم فرما، سیریا، شام، یمن، عراق، ایران، پاکستان، فلسطین، تمام اہل اسلام کے مسلمانوں کی مدد و نصرت فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین ان کو نیک صالح حاکم عطا فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین اپنے فضل اور کرم والا معاملہ فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین ہمیں بھی اپنے دین کے لیے چن لے۔ یا الہ العالمین ہم گناہ گار ہیں، ہم بدکار ہیں، سیاکار ہیں، اس لائق نہیں کہ تیرے دین کی اور تیرے اولیاء کی، تیرے بندوں کی خدمت کر سکیں، لیکن تو اپنے فضل اور کرم سے جس کو جیسے نواز دے۔ یا الہ العالمین اپنے فضل اور کرم سے ہمیں بھی نواز دے۔ یا الہ العالمین ہمارے بھائی شاہ عالم صاحب کو شفاء کاملہ عاجلہ عطا فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین ہمارے مشائخ سیدنا شیخ احمد دباغ صاحب کو شفاء کاملہ عاجلہ عطا فرما۔ آپ کے والدین کریمین طیبین طاہرین کو لمبی زندگی عطا فرما، صحت روحانی جسمانی عطا فرما۔ آپ کے اہل و عیال کو صحت روحانی جسمانی عطا فرما، شفاء کاملہ عاجلہ عطا فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین جو کسی بھی پریشانی میں شکار ہے، مبتلا ہے مولا کریم اس کو خوشحالی میں اور صحت یابی میں مبتلا فرما۔ یا الہ العالمین اپنے فضل اور کرم سے وہ کچھ بھی عطا فرما جو تجھ سے نہ مانگ سکے، وہ دعائیں جو کہ نبی علیہ السلام نے مانگی ان میں تیرا جو ہے وہ ان کا حصہ چاہتے ہیں۔ یا الہ العالمین وہ شرور جن سے انہوں نے تیری پناہ مانگی مولا کریم اس سے پناہ مانگتے ہیں۔ یا الہ العالمین اپنے فضل اور کرم سے تیرے سامنے ہاتھ اٹھائے جھولی پھیلائے بیٹھے ہوئے ہیں، معاف فرما دے۔ یا الہ العالمین ہم ایسے لوگ نہیں ہیں، ہم ایسے سخت جان نہیں ہیں جو تیرا عذاب جھیل سکیں، ہم وہ لوگ نہیں ہیں جو کہ مشقت اٹھا سکیں۔ یا الہ العالمین ہم سے تیرا جو ہے ہم تیری نعمتوں کا دن رات کفر کر رہے ہیں، کفران کر رہے ہیں مولا کریم، لیکن تو اپنے فضل اور کرم سے معاف فرما دے، رحمت والا معاملہ فرما دے، رحمت والا معاملہ فرما دے۔ سبحان ربک رب العزت عما یصفون والسلام علی المرسلین والحمد للہ رب العالمین۔
انت الجروح دوا ومن كل جرح داواني، شلون انساك شلون انساك، انت بلسم وانت دم يتراوح بشرياني، شلون انساك، قلبي ساكن للنجف واسمك سكن بلساني، روح وياك شلون عن عيني تغيب وانت الجروح طبيب، شلون عن عيني تغيب وانت الجروح طبيب، انت الجروح دوا ومن كل جرح داواني، شلون انساك شلون انساك، يا شهيد اش ما بجيت ما ظن دمك وفيت، من ذكرتك ما نسيت قبرك الليل اعتنيت تهل العين، قدمت روحك فدا دنقت تبكي السما، هلهلت كل النساء ذكرتها بكربلاء ومصاب حسين، عابس وجون وحبيب ظني بيكم ما يخيب، عابس